in my word. Gotta be. Um, but yeah, we're gonna get back into the message, man. And I was just talking to the Most High, man, in my head. You know what I'm saying? Having a little chat with him, and I just came to the realization, man. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this the caption for this live right now. And I'm gonna allow the Most High to use my vessel and basically speak through me, like I believe He does a lot, right? So it's too late to give up now. I just want to let y'all know, man. If y'all are still here in 2026, whatever projects you have started, if you've been doing this, right, especially content creation, right? And now basically what I'm going to be talking about right now is if you started making content, it's too late now. If you do what I do, if you're on a righteous mission, right? Especially if you were compelled by the Most High to make content, it's too late to stop. You can't stop now. And I'm going to go into that, right? But like always, I'm going to do a quick introduction. I'm Lenny. I'm with the Loyal Link brand. And we just got done with a live, man. But unfortunately, it's still uploading right now. So you guys will be able to watch that on replay. But my hopes is, I pray God gives me the strength to keep going live every single day, multiple times a day. Because that's the only way it's going to get to the lost souls, and my message and my testimony is going to get to the people it needs to get to, right? Just like on TikTok. And it took me a year of breaking through, a little bit over a year, to break through the algorithm, right? Being shadow banned. If you know how hard that is no small feat. If you are shadow banned, bro, and you're getting fucking thousands of views, bro, that's a miracle right there. That just tells you right there in itself that God is using you and your platform to do what He does best, to reach the rest of His children, right? And now, like I said, if you're making content and God has literally picked you to, give praises to Him or whatever that looks like, I don't want to give it like one certain label or one way, because it could look like many different things. A lot of ways it could look like things that I can't even think of, right? That I can't even fathom, right? Because we are talking about the Creator, man. We're talking about the King of Kings, the Most High God, bro. So we have no business and we have no capability of understanding what He's doing when it comes to us. But what I do know is that if the Most High has compelled you to make content and you listen to that call, right? What's going on, guys? Welcome to the chat, man. This is the second live today, man. But like I said, I'm gonna do another introduction. I'm Lenny. I'm with the Loyal Link brand, and I got some heat for y'all, man. I got a real message that I believe the Creator just gave to me, because I was just having a little chat with Him, man. I was walking through Walmart, you know what I'm saying? I was talking to the Most High, man, and I was like, yo, God, and I was reflecting, right? So I was having a little chat. I'm walking in Walmart, get my little energy drinks, and then I'm like, God, so, like, I was reflecting on when I first started making content and how that basically looked, right? So when I first started making content, I'm not gonna lie, it was comedy, right? It was my own dark humor, my own stand-up comedy, and I enjoyed doing it, but something in me, right, and the Most High called me to use my talents and my voice for something that, for Him, right, for the Most High. And I moved over to TikTok, right? So I moved over to TikTok, and through consistently every single day, multiple times a day for over a year, I posted, right? And when I first started out, I only got like 100 views. Like I would average 100 views. But by staying consistent and listening to what God was basically telling me to speak on, right? I was praying, I was meditating. I was like, God, what should I speak about? What should I address, right? I shared my testimony, And I got to over almost 6,000 followers, right? And so, like I was saying, I was just in Walmart. I was reflecting. I got a little sidetracked there. My fault, guys. So I was reflecting and I was looking back on all the people I've impacted, right? And I just made a new TikTok. So Loyal Link has just made a new TikTok, and it's actually the same username as, you know, my YouTube handle, Loyal Link Lenny, right? Loyal Link _ Lenny. But I had to make a new TikTok because I was banned on the first one. So I got banned for the truth I was exposing. And this is what a lot of us content creators understand on a very, very deep level, that when we're exposing certain darkness, whether it's trafficking, whether it's satanic PEDOs, I was exposing all of it. There was nothing that I wouldn't talk on. There was nothing that I wouldn't tell about myself, right? I used my testimony, my powerful testimony, right? That God has basically given me, all my trials, my tribulations, my pain, my suffering, right? I put it into a message and it was reaching many, many different people. It got to the point I was getting messages every single day, right? So what I basically want to tell you guys in this message is it's too late to stop now. If you've been in this fight, right? And when I say this fight, I mean spiritual warfare. And, you know, whether you're a targeted individual, right? A lot of us are targeted individuals, myself included, because of our power and our authority in Christ, right? Because of who we are in the spirit, not who we are in the physical. A lot of groups, a lot of secret societies, a lot of organizations, and basically the kingdom of darkness has decided to persecute us. Decided to do the same thing they did to Christ, right? So as I was saying in a live before, if you are of this world, if this world loves you, accepts you, welcomes you, then you are not of the Father. Christ said that his chosen elect in scripture, he said that you will be rejected, you will be persecuted, you will be hated for my name's sake. So if you go everywhere and people hate on you and reject you and it seems like you're misunderstood, yeah, bro, you're of the Father. That's what it says in scripture. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if you started making content, especially if the Most High has compelled you to make content for a reason that only you and him know, or maybe just him. Sometimes I think that I make content and only he knows, right? Only he knows how big of an impact I'm actually having by doing what I do, right? Because sometimes I'm not able to see it. I'm not able to see it until people reach out to me and tell me that my videos are helping them, or people comment, right? And that's basically what did it for me. So I was basically in Walmart getting a few groceries, and I was looking on my new TikTok I just made, right? Because I had to make another TikTok. And basically, I only put one video on there. I put one video. And basically what that video was a declaration to let everybody know that I'm not done yet. That I'm not giving up. That these cowardly cults and these people that try to silence me they didn't stop nothing. I just wanted that to be known. But most importantly, what it was is I didn't want to give the wrong idea, right? Because a lot of people were inspired by what I was doing. They were looking up to what I was doing. They were messaging me. They were telling me that. And I mean hundreds of people, right? So if I allowed them to silence me and I allowed them to make me quit what I was doing, what would that basically show? That would show that these people were able to, the kingdom of darkness, right, was able to silence me, was able to make me stop what I was doing, right? And we can't put out that message. We can't have these, these little cowards, bro, that run in flocks think they have any type of power over us, right? So can I get an amen, man? Can I get an amen, right? If you're doing content and you're on a righteous mission, I don't mean doing content for views. I don't mean doing content to get money. I don't mean doing content to get attention. I mean, you're doing content for a higher cause. You're trying to reach people and impact them in a positive way, right? You're trying to utilize your story to reach people that it could potentially help, that it could potentially save, right? So, guys, it's too late to give up. It's literally too late to give up. And what I mean when I say that is, if you've been making content for as long as me, it's not about you anymore. Now it's about other people. You got other people involved in this. And a lot of people don't understand that. They'll get banned on TikTok and they'll let these people silence them. And then they're like, oh, I quit. But they're not understanding that it's not about you anymore. Now you've brought multiple people in this, right? Including myself. Now you have multiple, hundreds, maybe thousands of people that are depending on your content, that are actually waiting for your videos, right? Because you've gotten people used to giving them a message, right? If you've been making content for over a year, like I had hundreds of people that were messaging me, asking me like, yo, when's your next video coming? All this other stuff, right? It's too late to give up now. Because now I got other people that are depending on hearing a message from me, that are depending on answers or some, what it mainly is, right? It's mainly not me. It's not anything I'm doing. It's what God's doing, right? So the Most High is using my vessel and my testimony to basically speak to you guys through what I'm saying, right? And this is how you know the Holy Spirit is speaking through you, is if it's affecting people to strengthen the kingdom of God, right? So that's how you know. If what you're saying, sometimes like I'll drop like some straight heat and then I'll watch my videos and I'll be like, bro, how did I come up with that? How did I even know that? How did I even, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm not that smart, right? And it's like, it wasn't me, it was the Holy Spirit. It was literally the Most High's Spirit speaking through me, right? Because I'm thinking, I'm like, there's no way I'm not that smart, bro. How did I know that? How did I even know you know what I'm saying? And that's where it gets to the point where it's not about us anymore, right? I'm making content and God is using my vessel, but it's not about me anymore. It's about the mission, right? The literally giving glory to the kingdom of God, right? So everything I do is to basically find all the lost souls and let them know that, there's still hope, man. Like there's still stuff that we can do, right? A lot of people, which is sad, they think that there's nothing we can do, right? Because the devil and, these little trickster spirits have convinced them of that, right? Through their illusions, through their projections. And that's all they have. All they have is fake power. It's fake power, right? A lot of you guys don't know that if you are chosen, right? If you are truly a son and daughter of the Most High, you're royalty, right? Whether you want to call an earth angel, a star seed, you're royalty when it comes to the kingdom of heaven. Not because of you, not because of anything you did, not because any of your talents, but because who God created you to be. It's because the spirit that God put inside of you. That's what makes us so different. It's where our light comes from, right? So a lot of us emanate very, very strong light, right? And it could come off in many different ways. Usually what it does is it intimidates people. People start acting weird around you. They'll start maybe trying to gossip about you, start trying to humble you. A lot of people that you don't even know or care about, you're just minding your business. They'll be in secret competition with you. It's just like, that's when you know it's deeper. It's spiritual, right? Because you're not doing anything. You're just minding your business, walking through town, right? And now you're affecting your environment. Everywhere you go, you're affecting your surroundings, right? And what that basically does is it triggers everyone you're around, right? The people that are living in a way that God basically did not plan for them to live. God basically uses us as like a wake-up call. And I don't know how else to really explain that, but that's really what it is. God literally uses us as bait, but not just that. He uses us as a mirror. When he sends us into different places, different establishments, different cities, different states, different countries, he's sending you in for something that you might not even know. Most of the time, I don't even know. I just, for some reason, I feel compelled to go somewhere. And then next thing I know, things happen. And that's God letting me know that, hey, he's working. Go talk to that person. Go say this. Go point that out, right? Some of the time, it's just our presence. Just your presence alone will literally convict people, right? And the only way that will actually work the way it's supposed to is if you're connected to the creator, if you're connected to source, and if you're actually vibrating high, right? You gotta be operating from a high vibration, man, or it's not gonna work. And the only way you're gonna be doing that is if you're living in your truth, right? The more truthful you are with yourself and everything around you, the more high you're gonna vibrate, right? The more lies we tell, especially the lies that we tell ourselves, those are the worst ones. That's literally gonna lower your vibration, right? So this is why God is able to use us the way he does, is because in that sense, we're authentic. We're not doing what mostly everyone does in society. We're not susceptible to programming and hive mind mentality like they are, right? They don't even question, like, right? If the narrative in society is one thing, like if they hear something on the news or if someone tells them something, they don't even question it. They just repeat the same garbage to everyone else like it's facts. But not us, right? We're not susceptible to programming, to brainwashing. And again, that simple fact right there can make you a target. You know what I'm saying? So there's many reasons why you can be targeted, but what it mainly comes down to is where we're from, right? We're here, but not from here. We're literally of the kingdom of heaven. We're of the light, right? No matter how many sins you've committed, we have flesh. So we're always battling with our flesh, but it's our hearts that make us as pure as we are. It's when it comes down to it, we will make the right decision, right? If it really comes down to it, if no one else was watching, if there was no laws, if there was nothing stopping us from doing a bad thing or the wrong thing, we would make the right decision. You would choose to save somebody, right? That tells you a lot about who you are right there. Right? You would sacrifice yourself. A lot of us would sacrifice ourselves for people we don't even fucking know. Because that's who we are. We're warriors. Right? What's up, True? Good to see you, bro. Welcome to the chat. So, guys, like I was saying, man, and I'm going to say this for you too, Truth. Like, yo, it's too late for us to give up now. We're too deep into this. Like, especially when it comes to us making content, no matter what level we're at, no matter what level they bump us back down to, it's too late to stop making content now because we're already affecting people. Whether it's one person, whether it's 100 people, whether it's 1,000 people. We're affecting people in a positive way, and we're impacting them and leading them to the kingdom of heaven. No matter what way you do it. And this is the beauty about the Most High, right? Is because he uses us to reach people that the church can't reach, that other people won't be able to reach, right? We do it in our own unique ways, right? That most of the world will say, oh, that's wrong, or that's evil, or, oh, you're not doing it right, or the regulators, right? But that's exactly what God wants us to do. It's exactly why God chose us to reach the people that these cowards, or these people that no real warrior is going to respect, right? So it's too late for us to give up. If you've been making content for as long as I've been making content, and you've reached people on a massive scale, even if not even a massive scale, man, I just mean if you've affected people to the point where they were messaging you every day, or just saying that, yo, you're inspiring them, or you're helping them with their problems and everything, like, yo, like I had people waiting on my videos. Like, yo, I'm waiting for your next message, man. Like, yo, you know, it's like now it's not about me anymore. Now it's not about you anymore. You literally can't stop. You'd be selfish if you stop. We want to stop, right? Yeah, it'll be easy to give up, right? It will be easy for me to just be like, I'm never making content again. But I'm not built like that, right? I would never allow anybody to intimidate me, or I don't care how many people it is. I don't care how many governments it is. I don't care if my life's on the line. I would never allow these people to silence me or stop me from what I set out to do, right? And I set out to make a difference. I set out to have a positive impact through my testimony, through my, life experiences, through my wisdom, and most importantly, to allow the Most High to utilize my vessel and speak through me. Now, doing that right there, that makes you a target right there. Guys, there's many different ways you can get targeted. And I say this all the time. It's for many different reasons, but it's also for one reason. And the one reason is you're literally of the Most High, right? And basically every single chosen one that I've ever talked to is a targeted individual, right? Or they don't know they're being targeted. It's like, guys, some of these people, they don't know they're being targeted, but I can see the signs. I can see it. I can see what these people are doing to that person. They're not awake yet. They're not awake yet. They're not able to see it. They're not able to see how small the world truly is. That's another thing right there, guys. They don't want you to know how small the world really is. You know that saying that goes, it's a small world? It really is. And when I say it's a small world, I mean that all these fucking people are more connected than you think they are. That's how the world was set up. That's how this system was set up, as a network, to reward those doing evil, right? To reward those that cheat, steal, kill, steal, and destroy. But not just that, to those that will submit. This world does not reward anybody that is of the light, anybody that is of the Most High. It's actually made to destroy them, right? It's made to actually persecute us, put us in slavery, right? All this shit. And that's what it's set up for. It's a network. That's all the occult is anyways. I try to tell people this all the time because we honestly hype these people up too much. You know what I'm talking about. We give these people too much credit. They're not all that. They're just a network of people. That's all the occult is, a network. And they're all well informed. They're all in a group chat, right? Anybody can do that shit. It's just that they're connected to very powerful and influential people that are fucking scumbags. And that's the truth, right? It's the people at the top that they work for, because like they're little worker bees. Yeah, hive mind mentality, right? They're all slaves. And they're all puppets. So like, yo, we're seeing on the news that people are actually taking these people out, which I shouldn't say this, but I think it's hilarious. I think that's actually justice in a sense, right? And it's sad that the victim, right, the dude or the woman has to go to prison, but maybe that will get the fucking message to these fucking people's heads to stop bothering people, to stop hitting people with frequency weapons, right? Because one of us might not have that much one of us might not have that much self-control. It might literally do it to them. Might literally put a hole through their head, right? These people do this shit to us, right? Like they actively poison your food, fucking blast you with radiation frequency weapons and all this shit. And then when you come out and you fucking air their crib up, they get surprised. Like, yo, the way I seen the families acting like they're victims, that shit made me sick, right? Because it's like, that's self-defense. And it's fucked up that the community, yo, did you see the word that they used? Like, this is like a new case. I think it happened like within like the last few months. There was a guy that claimed he was getting hit with fucking energy weapons through his house, and he knew the neighbor that was doing it. So he went over there, and because the guy was actively trying to unalive him with frequency weapons. So he went over there and he lit him up. And then, yo, the whole community played the victim. It's like, why are you playing the victim? That's self-defense. Yeah, I get hit with that shit too, right? And it's like, this is again why you should leave your house a lot. You should never stay in one spot. They want you to stay in one spot so they can literally just fucking cook you. You know? These people are claiming, bro, it makes me so sick to my stomach that these people are getting away with what they're doing, right? They're claiming to be good people. These people go to church and then they use frequency weapons to try to unalive people. What kind of fucking sick shit? And then when justice happens, right? When one of us takes matters into our own hands, right? Because that's what happens. When you persecute somebody or when you fucking attack somebody, eventually, like, that person, if they're not as strong as some of us are, right? A lot of us, we know the trap, right? We know that's what they want. And we know if I go over there and take out one of these low-level scumbags, right? It's not solving anything. These people are puppets too. These people that are blasting us with frequency weapons and shit, they're fucking slaves. They're mindless NPC puppets, right? And what we really got to remember is the Most High will never let that shit work on us, right? It may make us a little tired. It may give us a little cold. It may make us a little sad, but it will never overcome us, ever. Ever. Nothing a little sleep and a little fucking fasting and shit won't solve. Word. Guys, like, I think my body is, like, supernaturally healthy. It sounds crazy, but I believe that these people have fucking poisoned me, and I believe that things were done to me and it had no effect. I believe my body naturally healed from shit that's supposed to be impossible. Just because of the protection from the Most High. Like, I've literally felt, I've ate certain foods and felt it. I was like, yo, there was something in that shit, bro. I felt immediately sick, started sweating and shit, right? And then literally I took a little nap and then I was fine. Crazy. Yeah, threw out your microwave a week ago. Yeah, I try to stay away from the microwave and shit. Right. Guys, just, the best advice I would say for that, right? If you're going through targeting and you're being hit with frequency weapons, wear copper, right? Wear copper, keep a lot of aluminum foil on you. What I would do is put aluminum foil like around your phone and shit. Put it in your phone case. Put like a lot of copper things around your bed. And on your, I want to get some copper like necklaces and shit, right? There's steps we can take, right? There's even steps that we can take to get the fucking nanotech out of us. But that shit's in everything. It's in every single food. They put it it's in the air. It's in the water, right? So they want us to focus on this shit, right? Because this is something we got to understand. The more we focus on it, the more power we give to it, right? And I know it's hard, bro. It's hard as shit. I got to take my own advice sometimes. But, I mean, that's because these people are actively trying to come in our space, right? They fucking stalk us. They, like, do subtle things to remind us that, hey, we're there. Like, hey, pay attention to us. Hey, we're trying to get your attention. Like, these people are they're insane. So the best thing I could do is come up, like I told you guys, I'm coming up with a guidebook, right? And I'm going to have all these answers in there. I'm going to have everything that I do to protect myself from energy weapons. I'm going to have my own personal cybersecurity practices, right? Like, I have certain things that I do on my phone. And I don't know if this is like how you can protect yourself like 100%, but it makes it a lot harder for them to do what they want to do on my phone, right? And just certain like practices that I've developed, right? Not the first one to do it, but certain things that I do that make it very, very, very hard to hack my phone. So yeah, guys, back to what I was saying about the message. I am gonna leave this video up on replay too, so anybody can watch it. You know, hopefully the Most High leads you guys to back to my page. You know, and I'm gonna be starting all up again on TikTok, right? So on TikTok, I got one video on there, and so many people from my last TikTok that got banned have already found me. And now I got over 60 something followers, and I just got one video on there with over 3,000 views. And it's like, that just tells me right there. That's just the proof right there that it's not about me anymore, right? I made one video, made a new TikTok, and over 60 something souls found me again from my old TikTok. And they were all commenting like, wow, you got banned, yo, keep, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're giving me encouragement and shit, telling me not to give up, saying all this stuff like, yo, like, you're really inspiring me. Like, I was waiting on your videos and shit. And I was reading through that, and God reminded me that it's not about me anymore. Like, it's too late to stop. It's too late to give up. I can't even give up right now if I wanted to. You know? Now, what I can do, though, is I could take a little break, right? So I could definitely take a little break, you know, and rest a little bit before I get back into making content again. That's what I've been doing for the past couple days, right? I've been recharging my energy, you know, meditating, praying. I've been working on a few projects and shit. Like, that's what we do, baby. You know, we fall back, we pop out looking better, looking healthier, glowing and shit. You know, they hate us for that. They're like, yo, they're trying to isolate us, but then they isolate us, and then we come out, they're like, what the fuck? They look even better than before, right? Yeah, because it's actually worse for us to be at a job. They don't know that. It's actually worse for us to be around people. It's more harmful. And so, yo, that's the crazy part. They're doing the exact opposite. They're actually helping us. You know? I was at that last job that was literally fucking draining my soul, and it was a setup, right? They gave me a job at a call center, which was a setup. They had cameras in there watching me 24/7. They did things to trigger me every single day, trying to bully me, trying to mock me, trying to like say my life stories out loud to bully me and to do all this shit to me, right? Energy harvest from me. They're doing all this shit, and I'm working 40 hours a week for $400. That's $10 an hour. Get the fuck out of here. No way. No way, right? So they were trying to do that, and then they were trying to like basically get me to work like a slave for $10 an hour. I said, yeah, you're fucking out of your mind. So basically, and then like not even that, like I couldn't trust the people I was working for. For all I know, these people were playing with my money and like fucking, because the people are the same people that are a part of the occult. So, and I knew right away, right when I got there, that they're all a part of the secret society and shit. Right? And they were trying to do humiliation rituals on me in the middle of the shit, right? So actually, by me staying there, it would have been a lot more detrimental to my health if I stayed there. It would have been it probably might have actually would have killed me. Eventually, if I stayed there long enough, absolutely. Because I was literally in the enemy's den, bro. I was in the devil's chambers right there, right? Like I was literally giving them access to my energy, to my vessel, right? But I had a plan though. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna collect a couple checks, you know, and then I'm gonna quit. That's what I did. Right? I'm not gonna work for fucking people that are actively trying to sabotage me, bro. The fuck kind of, I'd have to be stupid to do that. But anyways, guys, this is what I'm trying to say, man. They think that isolating is like, it's like, no, actually, it's actually the opposite. If they give me a job like that, or fucking put me around a bunch of people, that's a lot worse for my health. I don't want that. So I don't want to be around that shit. It's actually gonna fucking hurt me a lot more than fucking, you know, being in my own lane, focusing on myself, you know, having inner peace and shit, and fucking doing what I want to do every day. So that's how I want to live, you know? And here's the thing, we all got free will, bro. So I wanted more time to focus on the projects I had working, that I've been working on. And that's what I get to do now. So, I asked God in a prayer. I said, you know what? Fucking this job I was at is 40 hours a week. I don't have no time to work on, to chase my dreams and shit. I want to chase my dreams and do what makes me happy. And I couldn't do that at this fucking, at Satan's headquarters. You said when you disappear like that at the job, these weirdos miss you. Yeah, that's the fucking funny part. You know what's funny? Is they slander us, right? So they get lied to about us. Yo, this is the fucking funny part. Like, I don't even like, it's not even that I don't like any of them in there. I kind of do, like, I like them, but I can't fuck with them because they're compromised. You know what I'm saying, Truth? It's like, when I first got there, they all treated me like fucking I was an enemy, bro. Like, they all treated me like they knew me, which I knew right away. I was like, oh, they were lied to. They were informed, right? So they were already talked to, like, yo, this person's this and that, right? But the longer I stayed there, for the next few weeks, they started to switch up. They started to treat me better. They started to be nice to me and shit. You know what I'm saying? They actually started to treat me like a fucking human being. Yeah, they're two-faced, right? And then even some of the chicks started flirting with me and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I had the chicks in there that, like, when I first came in there, they were, like, fucking mean mugging me, looking at me, like, with fucking disgust and shit, like they knew me. And I looked at them and I laughed. I was like, fucking morons. That's what I said to myself. I'm like, they're fucking idiots, They listen to fucking he said, she said shit. So then when they got around me, bro, yo, Truth, you know how, like, our personality speaks for itself? By them just being around me, they realized, bro, like, I could see the look on their faces when they started to question what they were told. I swear to God, bro, and everything I love, they started to realize, like, yo, what the fuck? This person's not like that. Or they started to realize, like, I was on that. They're like, yo, this person's not soft at all, right? Like, I knew they were told that I was a pushover, bro. They were told that I wasn't gonna do shit, that they could disrespect me, and, like, they were lied to. And I know for a fact that that's what, I didn't hear it, but I know that's what they were told because that's how they were acting. And if they really knew me, right? If they really were informed on me, if they were informed of who I truly was, then they would never do that shit at first, right? So what they did at first, right, is they try to bully me by throwing my drinks away. So they were throwing my sodas away and shit, right? We be swagging out without even trying. Facts, Truth, right? So here's what they did. They did some little pussy shit, right? And I knew who it was too, but I just wanted them to be I wanted them to have some balls and say it. So I made a fucking announcement. I said, yo, whoever the fuck threw my drink away, we're gonna have a problem. The next person that throws my drink away, I said, we're gonna have a problem. And they turned around right away. They went right back to work. They said, oh shit. And it's funny because they didn't have that attitude at first. They were like throwing my drink that I paid for, bro. I paid $3 for that. I didn't pay $3 for that so you could throw it away, right? And they were doing it behind my back too, right? So I made an announcement and checked them during the whole fucking work shift. I was like, yo, whoever fucking threw my drink away, bro, that's mad disrespectful, bro. And then I said, yo, and then, like, someone else brought it up again by asking me. So someone came up to me and they're like, yo, is this your drink, right? And then I was like, yo, I appreciate you asking me that. I appreciate you actually having the decency. And then, like, the two chicks, they looked at each other and they smiled. They're like, oh, he's asking. Like, they thought they were going to disrespect me again. And I came up to them. I said, yeah, that shit ain't funny, bro. The next person that throws my drink away, we're going to have a problem. And they said, and they turned around, bro. Like, the fuck? Who won that? They think shit. I don't know who lies to these people, bro. But I think that's a motive too. Like, yo, they lied to these people. So these people are, this is what's fucked up. Yo, the higher ups, right? Like the handlers and shit, they use their own people like crash dummies. Think about it. If I tell my foot soldier that to go fuck with someone and that person's not a threat. So if I tell my if I tell my youngin right now, right? If I tell my YN, like, yo, go over there, go disrespect that motherfucker, go fuck with him. oh, he's not going to do nothing. He's not about that. What does that mean? That means I don't give a fuck about my people, right? It means I'm using my foot soldiers like that, like I don't give a fuck about them. Like I'm putting their life in jeopardy. That's what these people do, right? So it's just funny, man. But at the end of the day, I don't got nothing bad to say about that whole job. I mean, I'm just saying the truth. They'll probably take this as talking shit, and I'm gonna leave it up on replay so they can watch it. You know, they're probably gonna watch it. They're probably gonna talk about it again. They're gonna talk about me for like another few hours. That's what they do, man. It's fucking crazy how they talk about us, bro. I find that shit hilarious. Like, yo, we don't even remember these people's names. And they're over there having like full-blown debates and discussions of what we should be doing with our life. That's sad, bro. Anyways, guys, back to the message, man. I do what makes me happy. At the end of the day, I have peace within myself, and I don't care about anything else. Like nothing is gonna jeopardize my inner peace, right? I'm not gonna let anything. I'm gonna have boundaries. I'm gonna enforce my boundaries. I don't want anything to do with nobody no more, right? Like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll kick it with somebody and shit. Like, if I find someone that's actually cool. But, yo, where I'm at right now and the location I'm at right now, everybody a part of this shit is, like, involved to an extent. And when I say involved, I don't mean necessarily that they're a part of the cult directly, but their friends are. Or the environment that we're in is a part of the cult. Is a part of a secret society, right? So it's like, I necessarily can't fuck with them because of that, right? Because they're compromised. They're a liability. As soon as I let them in my life, they can be flipped like a dime. They're a weak link, right? So that's just something you guys think about. But then again, live your life too. I would never allow these people to stop me from doing something I want to do. Yo, even like, yo, let's say I see this bitch right here, right? Like, let's say, for instance, I see a chick and I know she's a part of this shit, but I don't give a fuck. I want to talk to her anyways. You know, I just want to, I'm going to do it. I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Oh, okay. And then I'm going to talk to her like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. She's a fucking, the devil's bitch or something, you know? But facts. That's what I'm going to do. But then again, like, before I talk to her or I talk to anybody, I already have, I told you guys, I have like a strategy, bro. So for every interaction I have a system that's like, that's a 3-step rule. So it goes observe, decide, action. Now, I've said this before on other lives, but I'll say it again. It's part of the SSP, which is a guide that I'm working on for all targeted individuals, right? So every targeted individual, I'm saying this right now, if you're watching this video, if you feel like you don't have a way out, if you feel like you don't have answers and you need some, don't worry, I'm literally working on a resource right now, and I'm putting all my energy, all my time, all my passion into making this guide, right? So one of the steps in it for any interaction, I mean any single interaction, any single new environment that you come in, it's called observe, decide, action. So the first step is observe. You need to observe your surroundings. You need to observe every single person, have a threat assessment. So you need to see if anybody is a potential threat, right? And I mean like a threat to your safety, a threat to, your life, your lifestyle, your peace, right? And then after you're done observing and you get comfortable with the people in your surroundings and know them, you use your discernment. Now you need to decide if you want to talk to somebody. You need to decide if you want to make conversation with somebody, if you want to be social, and then you need to decide what you want from that conversation. You need to decide what you're willing to give, what you're willing to put into it, how much you're willing to risk, right? Because if you talk to somebody and you give them your address or you give them the wrong information, that's a risk. So you need to decide what you're going to tell this new person or this person you're having an interaction with, right? You need to decide what you're willing to tell them, what you're not willing to tell them, what you want from them. Do you want to be their friend? Do you just want to be social, right? You just want to have one interaction and that's it? Do you just want to talk about what you want to talk about, right? And then after you've observed and after you decided, that's when you take action. So if you use that if you use those 3 steps, bro, these people aren't gonna have any power over you. And I know it's gonna be kind of difficult to remember to do that every single time, but if you do, right, by practicing it, you know, like you do affirmations or like you're reading scripture or praying, right? If you do that, then I promise you, nothing these people do will have any effect on you. Just that 3-step rule right there. Because you know the risks. You're not slipping up, right? And what this basically 3-step rule does is it stops you from having interactions and people around you that aren't beneficial to having around you, right? And it also stops you from slipping up and telling a person more than you should tell them, right? Because you've already assessed them. You observed them. So you know that, okay, listen, this person's this way. This person's fucking a gossiper. I probably shouldn't tell them about my life, right? Common sense. So you decide that. So you're like, all right, I'm not going to tell them anything that they can use against me. So that's what you do when you decide, right? So that 3-step rule right there is something I created. And a lot of the methods I have in the SSP are very, they're unorthodox, but they work. So, guys, I think this book, right, this guide is going to be very powerful. I'm going to work very hard on it, guys. I got basically the intro. So I got the intro and I'm still working on the index. So the index is literally one of the first pages in the guide. That basically is it. I mean, it's an index. It shows you where everything is, right? And I also have something in the index that basically is it's a translation, right? Because you know how like every single TI we use the term they. We say they or them or attackers or our ops, right? Like everybody has certain terminology they use for the people that target them, right? I literally put in the index what that means. So when people read the guide, they can't say like, well, what do you mean when you say they? Or what do you mean when you say them? I literally put a full explanation of what that means in specific details, right? So I'm probably gonna do like a little, one of my next lives, I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna give you guys like a little preview and let you see what I'm talking about, right? So basically I forget what the word is, right? It's it just basically, so anybody that's not a targeted individual is gonna be able to understand, right? They're gonna be able to get what we're saying. Because a lot of people, they don't have discernment and they're not able to. So I basically like wrote a full explanation in the index. Like it's a reference when I say these, they, them, ops, attackers, perps. It literally is in reference to every single secret society, Freemasons, dark organization, groups. And I literally put like every single thing these people do. People that are hacking, people that are stalking, organized harassment. That's literally what it means when we say those words in the guide, right? I'd have to show you guys. I do a lot better with, showing you guys the actual showing you guys in picture, right? It's kind of hard to explain certain things, right? I don't know if I'm doing a good job. You guys tell me. I think I can understand what I'm saying, but some people can't. I've noticed that. Anyways, guys, we've been on here for 49 minutes, right? I'm gonna hopefully be going live every single day now, right? Every single live I do, hopefully I can get at least like 3 or 5 of you guys to sub, man. That would be great. just remember, guys, I'm not doing this. I mean, I'm doing this for me, but I'm doing this for all of us, man. Every single targeted individual, bro. Like, I do this shit for us. I do this shit so I can put out the knowledge and, anything I can to help us, right? And that's basically why I'm so passionate and so focused on making this guide, right? And I want to be able to make it available to everybody, right? But then again, like, I'm also going to need to copyright it too. So I need to copyright the whole thing because, these people are going to they're going to try to do what they do, right? But we're already going to expect that because these people don't have any new strategy. So our attackers, we know what they're going to do because they do the same shit over and over again. Sabotage. So if you can plan for that, you can plan for a way they can't do that, right? And that's, again, why you don't tell anybody what you're like. You can give people, an idea of what you're working on, but you don't want to give too much. You don't want to sit here and tell everything and fucking, because these fucking people are literally they're obsessed. They're going to sit here and watch your live and write down everything you say and fucking take notes. And like, that's how desperate and how invested these people are when it comes to us. Any single targeted individual, any single chosen one, right? People are literally sitting here like with fucking coffee mugs in their hands talking about like strangers, which is fucking weird. I don't even know how that's acceptable. If I was in that group, I would call like, yo, this is fucking weird. Why are we talking about someone who doesn't give a fuck about us? That's like the real question. That's something they should be asking. Why are we talking? Why are we focused on someone that clearly doesn't know who we are? That clearly doesn't give a fuck about any of us? Are we mentally okay? That's the real question they should be asking. But they're not going to do that. They can't. So guys, back to what I was saying about the caption. I know we kind of been everywhere, but those are the best lives, right? I got my energy drinks, been doing a nice little walk, got some cardio in, right? Guys, I'm always walking, man. That's like my favorite thing to do, walk around, right? What was I about to say? So, if God has compelled you and told you to make content and you listen to that call and you've been making content and you've seen with your own eyes that it's been affecting people in a positive way, like you've been helping people, no matter how many people, like, and if you've been doing that for a consistent period of time, like myself, like over a year, it's too late to give up. It's not about you anymore. If you gave up right now, guys, and if I gave up, it would be selfish. We're not allowed to give up. We're in this fight until our last breath, right? So until these people Charlie Kirk us, we're still here, right? And God's not going to let that shit happen unless it's part of the plan, right? Unless I'm supposed to be a martyr. If I'm supposed to be a martyr, hey, man, I'll fucking shit. I hope God just give me a good show. I'll go out with a bang, bro. Anyways, right? Yeah, guys. Hopefully, I know when I come on here every time, like I have like a topic, but not really. I kind of just go with the flow. And like I have like a broad term, or like a broad general idea of what I want to talk on. But, hopefully I want to think about like a couple more things, to discuss. But I don't know, man. You've been feeling like giving up. I feel you, bro. Me too, man. Me too, bro. But that's like why we got to push through, bro. Like, yo, the devil shows us exactly what we should be doing because he'll attack it. So if he's attacking my content, that means that's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So the same with you, bro. If these people are targeting something, that means they're in fear of it, right? Like these people have targeted my music, right? They try to mock my music. Like that showed me right there that they were jealous of my music, that they wanted to stop me from creating music, right? And now, like, I've never got like a big fucking following with my music, but I know I'm talented, right? But now when they came together in fear, and I know they were fearful, right? I know they were very fearful, and they try to act like they weren't, But they came together out of fear, out of jealousy, out of low vibration. And they all grouped together from being fucking haters and mass reported my account. And then they could brag about it, right? They could tell all their little friends, like, yeah, I got them blocked. Like, I put a lot of money into this. But they're just showing, they're basically making a confession that how jealous they are, right? That's why that's why it's very funny to look at the perspective inside their groups, because their whole group is filled with jealous people. Their whole group is filled with people that are insecure and that encourage and reaffirm their weaknesses, right? So that's why they fucking do what they do. They have like a little community, right? And they all basically, they strengthen each other's delusions. It's fucking it's crazy to watch. Cause like you looking at the outside of it, like you're standing on the outside looking at it, right? I'm looking at these people and I see one of them tell a chick and they're all laughing about it like they're mad happy, like they just took down the president or something, right? But I'm looking at it for what it really is. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at it for they're jealous or they're fucking haters, because that's exactly what it is. We're seeing the truth because we don't have a biased perspective, right? So we're looking at, like, it's very, very funny to look at it from the outside, to look at these people, right? So picture like a circle of these people, right? They're doing what they're doing because they're fucking jealous, because they're haters, right? But if you go in their group and everything they tell each other, that's not the narrative. The narrative is, they're tough guys and they're cool and they're this, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, I find it very amusing to watch their perspective and see how, delusional it is, you know? Like, even everything about what they're doing, it screams desperate. It screams, I'm fucking jealous of this person. That's what it does, you know? If you fucking literally spend your time, your money, your resources on ruthlessly trying to get someone banned on TikTok, you don't think that makes you look desperate? You don't think that's sad and pathetic and it means you're jealous? Because, bro, listen, anybody that's confident, they don't do that shit. Anybody who is really confident would see someone else that's confident and they would cheer them on. They'd be like, okay, talk your shit, man. Good shit. Proud of you, right? Now, anybody that's jealous or intimidated is going to take steps to sabotage that, to destroy that, to bring you down, because they feel like you're what? Above them. They feel like you're bigger than them, right? And they're intimidated of you. So they could try to mask and they could try to play it off however way they play it off, right? And that's why they have their little group, because they all feel the same way. They're all jealous. They're all insecure people. They're very weak people. They're very sensitive, right? That's why they don't let anybody else that speaks the truth involved in their little group. It's all scumbags, right? And they target anybody that they're jealous of. They target anybody that intimidates them. That's what they do, bro. And it's like, when you look at it from the outside, it's, I don't know, I find it like I'm looking in a fucking zoo. I swear, bro. I swear, like, I'm fucking looking at these people like I'm looking at fucking penguins at a zoo. That's what it feels like, bro. I'm like, yo, do they fucking know, dude? I'm like, do they even realize, bro? Do they even know that, like, that person that they're bragging to, do they know that's like them confessing that they're jealous? Or then them confessing that they're a hater? I wonder sometimes. Because they're not seeing the truth. They're not seeing, like, they're getting their own fucking insecurities encouraged, right? And that's how they're never going to grow. They're always going to be like that until they leave that group, right? The only way they'll ever grow is if they leave that group, or if they get away from those people, which isn't going to happen because it's a fucking cult. They operate like a cult, right? Anybody that they're jealous of, anybody that they feel that should submit to them, and they think that, oh, I want to try to control this person, because they can't control you. But they create illusions that give them a sense of control, but it's not really real control, right? They tell themselves that. They tell themselves by paying people to stalk you and to follow you that they're in your life. They believe that. They believe by having other people stalk you or snitch on you and monitor you, they think that they have control over you. It's a delusion. It's insane. It's insane. But that's what these people do. They're crazy. So you could be minding your business, living your life, bro, and you'll have a weirdo on the side that like thinks they control your whole life by having other weirdos follow you around and stalk you and shit. It's like, no, you're just fucking weirdos. You're just creeps. You're wasting your time, right? So, guys, don't worry, man. I'm like, all this shit, like the truth always comes out. So we know that. I'll say it again. The truth always comes out. But these people, they're sabotaging themselves by taking steps to try to sabotage another person and trying to hurt another person and trying to do all this shit to somebody by trying to gang up on somebody. You know, you go recruit a bunch of narcissists, a bunch of psychopaths, and you go recruit all these people just because you're jealous of somebody, just because somebody hurts your feelings, or just because you feel like that person should, you know, do this and they don't do that. It's like, bro, like those people eventually destroy themselves. Those people eventually, what they sought to do to somebody else, it says in scripture that eventually they do to themselves. They fall in the same traps that they set for others, right? You just got to sit back, have faith in God, and it's going to happen, right? Pray it happens a lot sooner. You know, usually what I'll do is I pray that these people that set traps and these people that plot and these cowards that sit behind scenes and they conspire and they whisper, they gossip and they slander and, you know, they speak witchcraft with their tongues. I pray that righteous judgment falls on them a lot sooner. That's what I do. So I pray that they get the justice that they deserve, that everything they want done to others happens to them. So if someone's actually trying to take steps to fucking like hurt you or something, I pray the same thing happens to them. And God will answer you. You know, maybe not like right exactly when you want him to, but he'll eventually answer you. So, guys, I'm going to end the message soon, man, because I've been on here for a little while. Been on here for a little bit over an hour. But, guys, we're starting from scratch on YouTube, man. So, we hit over 5,000 followers before. We can get over 5,000 on YouTube, man. You got to think about it. If every single live I do, I get a couple subs and I do 100 lives, what's that? You know, if I get 3 or 4 subscribers every live and then I get like 3 subscribers every single live I do and I do 100 lives, you know, you just got to stay consistent. Never give up. That's what I did for a year, right? I spent the year, I put a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and I was very passionate about what I was doing, right? And that's how I had paid subscribers. I had a lot of people that were DMing me, messaging me. I had thousands of views, right? Over almost 200,000 views on one video, 40,000 views on another video. And I mean, I was having an impact, bro. So like what I'll say again, just like the caption says, it's too late to give up now. It's too late. There's people literally depending on us. And that, you know, whether anyone wants to believe it or not, it's irrelevant, right? There's people depending on us right now, depending on us to make to make videos, to make content, to go live. There are people literally waiting to hear your message. So it's not about us anymore. It's about them. That's the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with, bro. Don't give up, bro. Stay strong, man. Remember, you got this, bro. We've been here, yo. We've survived through everything we've survived through already. So who can stop us? Nobody. There's nothing anyone or any system or any government or anything can do to us. Like, if you've been through 10% of what I've been through, then there's nothing, dude. There's nothing left. They've tried everything. Nothing else will work, right? It's literally turned us into unstoppable forces of nature, man, that it takes armies of people to even try to go up against us, but that still doesn't work, right? So guys, that's the last little words of wisdom I'm gonna leave y'all with, man. I love you guys, bro. Everybody that's watching, everybody that's gonna watch on replay, I'm gonna leave this up here. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Lenny. I'm with the Loyal Link brand. Yo, shout out to you, Truth, bro. Appreciate you joining as always, brother. Have a good one. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.